welcome everybody to Open Division Week 5, Round 9. I'm joined today with first of all, I am NYYRIKKI, and I'm joined by my co-caster, Beat Down Boulevard. Beat, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mary. Excited to get into the Overwatch. Sorry for the delay, but we're here now. We're already in map, in game. We're going to see some hype Overwatch at the moment. NYYRIKKI versus New Moon. Actually, it's not inbred. I don't know if the chat, I don't know if the stream still says that, but that'll be fixed any second.
Sorry.
You there, Nary?
My ping suddenly Skyped to spiked to 1,200, but we're good. So okay. Yeah, as Beat said, NYYRIKKI versus New Moon, previously known as Inbreds. They've recently done a rebrand. We like the new name; it's pretty good. NYYRIKKI, firm favorites in the Open Division this season. They did incredibly well last season, and we're expecting them to do well again this season. Beat, what can you tell us about the compositions that we might be seeing on this map, or that we are seeing rather?
I was about to say, they're already out there. Teams are out of spawn, and it seems like on the one side, we have on the blue team. Actually, we have a goats, the classic Zen goats here on the blue. On the red, they're running the Sombra Pharah. This actually is a pretty interesting comp. Where on the life patch, Brick isn't as good as she usually was, so this comp may work out pretty well.
Well, we're already on the point now, and there's a lot of damage coming in. Yeah, damage managing to take out the Zenyatta, and that is a pick. It's going to shut down the goats competition pretty quickly. Wrecking Ball doing a lot of disturbance in the backline, trying to split them up and create openings, but unfortunately we do see D.Va getting demeched, and that's going to be huge for them. And Barrage coming so early, huge ult charge, that it is a huge favor for them now. They are going to be able to swing this point, assuming that the rest of the team doesn't manage to get back on. But no, they are pushing them off. Wrecking Balls with the pile driver, trying to continue with that dissonance in the back line. Somehow Red are still managing to stay on point, but they will have to do a reset and pull back so that they can regroup.
I'm not sure why New Moon backed off there. They had the advantage. They have the DPS power here of Yakids. He didn't seem like he was feeling very much pressure. They were making even trades, and it's a lot harder for the Goats comp to win out trades like these against such elusive DPS compositions. But I guess they decided to back up, want to take another fight. Broky going down means this is probably that time.
An initial pick and followed up with a huge EMP, but the EMP gets followed up by a beat, and that beat is the team alive. But a lot of picks are coming through here for New Moon. A barrage again. Barrage gets taken out, and it looks like New Moon are going to be able to stabilize and take the point back from NYYRIKKI.
Unfortunate, Skippa ended up committing the Graviton Surge, so now they aren't going to have that on top of losing the point. Things are going to get a little tougher from now on. Still, good on them for denying the value of the EMP. Denia hiding, getting the sound barrier off as soon as it went off, so keeping the team together. We're going to see Skippa actually swap to the Sombra of their own. A really good way to deal with Raptor on this Wrecking Ball, because, you know, as soon as you hack that Wrecking Ball, it's very easy to kill him. He has no extra shield, no way to really get away.
Well, we've got the rally coming through here from NYYRIKKI. They're going to use that armor to feed onto point and create as much dissension as possible. Immediately pulling out the trance from New Moon, and that's going to be huge because the trance is not getting too much value. Now they're coming through with a trance of their own. The D-Mech comes through and D.Va goes down. This is their opening. The Wrecking Ball is still causing problems on the point. They still haven't dealt with that Pharah, but they are definitely in favor here. New Moon not really touching the point at the moment, except for the Wrecking Ball still trying to create some chaos, swinging around on their post, but some picks will continue to come through for NYYRIKKI. Oh, but the barrage comes through and gets two supports. It's pretty evenly matched now, but it looks like the Wrecking Ball may go down. Self-destruct comes through, but gets nothing. No value. Unfortunate. There is still an all-out roll on the point here. Oh, and there's the EMP, and it's huge. It gets an opportunity now for New Moon to bring this back, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take it. They're going to be forced to do yet another reset.
Yeah, although it took a little while for NYYRIKKI to take the point, a lot of the fault here in New Moon is that they were forced to use the Transcendence first. McG was caught out on his own, didn't want to die because that would have been an instant flip, was forced to use the Trance. Most of that time used getting away, and that meant NYYRIKKI had all the time in the world to use their Trance. And now still, they're looking good in the ult department, as we're going to see Sile make the swap onto the McCree. Decides the Pharah isn't working anymore. Raptor making the swap too, realizing he's getting shut down with the Wrecking Ball. Ult advantage is in NYYRIKKI's favor. Look at Skippa setting up for the EMP.
Another rally and another EMP comes through, but it looks like NYYRIKKI using their ultimates to much better advantage, much better effect. They immediately get 3 pickoffs, and I just want to find out from you, because it seems like they're running the Super McCree into the GOATS composition. How effective is Super McCree against GOATS?
Well, right now, NYYRIKKI isn't running the Ghost comp anymore, so I feel like this comp would work pretty well. Especially because the Brig and the McCree are both ways to shut down Skippa on the Sombra, but you have to pay a lot of attention while doing so.
Well, here we're coming in for yet another engage. This do or die for New Moon. They realize now they need to get in. Transcendence will come through, but it doesn't look like it's doing too much. He needs to get back to his team. The little isolated. First pick comes through for NYYRIKKI. Immediately, they have a massive advantage. The Winston is down, and that's going to be huge for them. Now we've got New Moon still trying to fight it out on point. The High Noon comes through and doesn't get anything. It gets eaten by the D.Va mech. D.Va self-destruct comes through and gets absolutely no value, but it's still an all-out brawl. Another pick comes through. Lebdek dying again on the point. New Moon getting lots of picks here. Sombra managing to take down the Zenyatta, and that's going to be huge. It's going to take away a lot of healing for them, and taking out the D.Va that's just been demech. NYYRIKKI, it's looking a bit touch and go for them. They started out this fight so strong, but unfortunately New Moon showing a lot of dominance here, managing to flip the point around, but there's still a lot of time for NYYRIKKI to take this back.
True, but really no ult online for NYYRIKKI either, so this is gonna be a little tough for them, as they are pretty, New Moon is pretty close to just finishing off this round. Now Skippa going off the Sombra, use the EMP, not gonna build it up in time, is instead opting for the Zarya, Lepidef for the Reinhardt. They're just going Zen Goats here, and the thing is, this is a good way to beat this McCree, the Brig McCree composition, but it's gonna be hard without any ultimates.
As you say, no ultimates, and now they're pushing onto point, and they're going to be relying solely on their mechanical skill. Lebedev managing to shield the self-destruct for most of the team, but it still manages to take down the Zarya. Scythe managing to take down the Zenyatta as well. The High Noon comes through and gets the Reinhardt, and that's it. This is massive picks for New Moon. They also throw in the beat just for good measure. It looks like they're going to hold on to this point and win this first round of the very first match.
You see, NYYRIKKI was doing so well in the beginning. They managed to apply so much backline pressure onto New Moon, and especially you can see it with McG getting his trans forced out constantly. You know, it seemed like this was really working out for them, but then they committed so much in that last fight where the point got flipped on them. They committed so many key ultimates, the EMP, the rally, and the like. So the issue with that is that it didn't work. And capping at like 70%, making a comp swap, trying to build ultimates, that's like 30 seconds maybe, when your enemy team already has ultimates. So that is quite a hill to climb, and unfortunately NYYRIKKI were not up to it.
Yeah, definitely. We saw a lot of compositional swaps, which I liked. Very often, you need to make those swaps. You need to make sure that you're dealing with whatever it is that's causing you so many issues. But unfortunately, NYYRIKKI left their swap back onto the GOATS composition a little bit too late. They were really behind on the ult charge and the ult economy. So when they made their final push, it didn't work for them.
Yeah, and I think it would have been better off if they just stuck with the Sombra, because at least you could have made use of the hack. Maybe you could have built a fast enough EMP, but building that grab in 30 seconds, that would have been hard.
Well, now we are seeing what we recognize from the World Cup. We're seeing this Hanzo and Pharah. And I really, really like this composition to get a lot of spam damage from either side of point. And they're running it against a GOATS comp, which again, we've seen it work to great effect against GOATS composition. Now we'll need to see how well NYYRIKKI are going to be able to deal with this comp. As they move on to the point, a lot of spam damage. The first capture will go to New Moon, as NYYRIKKI needed to make some additional swaps, but they brought the brawl onto point. They're not too concerned about that first flip, and immediately we get a first pick off from Sile onto the Moira, and that's going to be pretty huge for them. Unfortunately, they're giving a lot of space for this cap to come through, and they still manage to get the cap, even with a huge barrage from New Moon. But New Moon are not too worried. They clean up the rest of the point, and they'll just yoink their point back. Thanks.
It's funny, and NYYRIKKI just kind of let New Moon cap, and you think that was a little bit of a mistake here, because I don't agree with the swap onto the Moira. Yeah, now you have, sure, you have a lot of healing, but the Pharah and the Hanzo can do so much damage. You're going to end up using a lot of your healing well anyway, so you might as well go for a healer with more utility.
Yeah. Oh, Dragon Strike comes through, manages to get the Zarya and then the headshot onto the Brigida, and immediately she's pretty dead. Moira managing to get a kill with her Coalescence though, but it will not be enough as Mickey gets a kill onto Reinhardt. The rest of the team goes down, and the supports jump off the edge for a quick reset.
Yeah, Coalescence committed, still nothing gained here. It's so difficult right now for NYYRIKKI. They aren't really building much ultimates. Look at this. It's 55% and counting, and they're about to build up their first ultimates. We're seeing the first Shatter. Skipper only at 55%. Look on the other side. New Moon have 5 ultimates, style 50% to another Dragon Strike. This is Yakid's second Rocket Barrage as well. Like, the ult charge from killing these tank heroes is just so much in the favor of New Moon at the moment.
And now we're going in for yet another engage. Barrage comes through and manages to take down the Brigida after taking down the Zarya. And once again, that's really going to shut down NYYRIKKI's push. NYYRIKKI are not managing to deal with this Pharah at all. Every time they walk out, and it's, as I said, getting that damage from both sides. They've got the hands on the left, the Pharah on the right. It's just not working out for them, Beats.
Yeah, not all, but the problem now is that they committed a few too many ultimates. That trans would have been really important in this fight. If Skipper can get his charge up, he can build a grab right now, but if anybody can even touch the point.
Self-destruct coming through, but gets absolutely nothing. NYYRIKKI going in for their final push, but a Dragon Strike onto the point and take down the Zarya. That's it, man. Kyle also taking out Leopardef. We do see someone go down on NYYRIKKI, but I don't think it's going to be enough for them to be able to take this point back. Heavily in the favor of New Moon at the moment, and yet another barrage coming through. Getting taken out by the Brigida, that's pretty huge, but it will not be enough. And it looks like we're going to see New Moon. Oh, the Wrecking Ball coming in to try and pull this out. Trance is going to come through, and I don't think that NYYRIKKI are going to be able to make it back to point in time to save this.
Well, you say that, but a nice Graviton Surge is going to come in, and since Mixie just used the Transcendence, it's really no way for him to deal with it. Brokey coming back here with the Moira means there's more healing for the side of NYYRIKKI. I feel like they're stabilizing.
Oh, there's another Dragon Strike, though, coming straight for point, but will it get you in time? No, it will not. NYYRIKKI do, in fact, stabilize. Fantastic performance from NYYRIKKI there. Really good swapping onto those stall picks to try and save the point.
Yeah, and it bought enough time for the rest of the team to come through, and part of it is still, I think Mixie is too aggressive with the Transcendences. Needs to realize that it's a good tool for when your team gets grabbed, so using it in that last fight, I understand why, but you need to hold on to that for the inevitable Graviton.
Big pile drive coming through, that's going to give him a little bit of ult charge and create a little bit of chaos in the back line, but will it be enough? They're now moving on to point. The self-destruct will come through and get absolutely nothing. The point has been flipped. How do you allow that to happen? The brawl is still going on. New Moon are getting picks. Vito managing to take out Tile on that Zarya, and that's going to be huge for them. Now we've got the mines on the field, and that's going to really deny some space. But oh, huge Earth Shatter. This could be it. This could be when New Moon takes it back. The fight is still going. Zarya is still alive on Skipper. He's trying to get a lot of damage in there, but it doesn't seem to be working. They're being pushed off point constantly all the time. And there's a grab on point with the self-destruct. Will it be enough? Oh, it gets nothing. New Moon are still brawling it out on point. And NYYRIKKI are still trying to get back with what big beat coming through there from New Moon. This fight is just going on forever. We've got all the pile drive managing to take out Reinhardt, which is absolutely huge. Now the trades are coming through once again. NYYRIKKI managed to survive the all-out brawl for so long, and now they're getting picks of their own, and they've managed to get 3 really big picks. All that's left is D.Va. Oh, but here comes the Transcendence, and that could be just enough to stall for New Moon to get back on point. But here comes the self-destruct. Will it get anything? Doesn't get anything, and now the Wrecking Ball of New Moon is already on point, but Vito managing to take down that D.Va. NYYRIKKI fighting it out so strong on the point. They do manage to get the flip. This is the last opportunity for New Moon to try and take this back.
And here's the thing, as soon as New Moon realized that they weren't going to win this fight, because there was a point where it was very clear, they should have just kept throwing themselves onto the point and forced the ults out of NYYRIKKI while not using any of their own. The fact that they didn't, and in such a crucial time, means they are going to struggle in this last fight where there's more ult charge than NYYRIKKI.
And now we see the rally coming through from New Moon, but immediately there's a taking down the Moira, and now Skipper goes down as well. And again, we see a huge advantage for New Moon. They have an opportunity here to take this back. The brawl is going through. Oh, but a boot will come through and kill Sile, and that could be pretty big, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Beautiful mines coming through to try and disrupt and stop the rest of NYYRIKKI from getting back onto point. This D.Va wants to contest, but she will get taken down. New Moon flip the point, and they take the first map in this series.
NYYRIKKI Frost, letting it slip through their fingers. I think in this they should have abandoned the Wrecking Ball as soon as they had the opportunity. It became very clear that, yeah, this is a great stall tactic, but as soon as you stabilize, get off of it, man, because it doesn't work well in this comp, and we see it. We get a huge shatter from, I believe it was Raptor on the side of New Moon, because what's a Wrecking Ball gonna do to block your shatter?
You're absolutely right. You know, not having shields can be so dangerous, especially in this these goats-esque compositions. And then they started out with that Pharah and that Hanzo, which did so much work for them, creating a lot of damage, a lot of dissension. And then we saw the stall picks, then we saw the Hammonds, and we even saw a Tracer for a minute there, and it just got all out. The all-out brawls on the point were absolutely ridiculous. And I really want to point out that second last fight where New Moon got so many picks and they allowed NYYRIKKI to stabilize, and as soon as NYYRIKKI stabilized, they actually flipped the point back. Yes, New Moon came back and, you know, completely wiped it, but serious props to NYYRIKKI for being able to stabilize under that kind of pressure and flip the point back. I think that this is a pretty evenly matched game, and I'm really excited to see what these two teams are going to bring for us on our next map, which looks like it's going to be Route 66.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I think the main issue, though, that's going to hurt these teams is the decision making you make in key team fights. I'm glad you mentioned that second last fight, because during that second last fight, New Moon actually committed too many ultimates. I think just by the misplays of NYYRIKKI were they able to cap in the end, but the fact that they committed so many ults on a fight they should have known they were going to lose. At one point you have to realize, like, okay, we're not going to win this fight. Let's get ults out of them, because we're at 99%. We just need to win one fight. We need to force whatever we can out of them. Even if they got one ult out of them while keeping all of theirs, that is a net game. So all they had to do was do that, but they committed too much, and that's why we saw that last fight get a little brawly.
You are absolutely right. And now we are moving on to Route 66. And we've seen a lot of interesting strats in contenders recently on this map. We've seen quad DPS from Korea. We've seen the May Igloo strat from South America.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of interesting things. So what do you think, given that it is live patch, what do you think we might be seeing on this? And what would you like to see? What do you think these teams should be doing to try and win this map out?
Well, I'm going to answer in the reverse order, because I want it first on the record that I would love to see a quad DPS defense. However, I don't think we're going to see that. I'm expecting teams to just mostly stick with the Goats-like composition. We already see NYYRIKKI Frost on the defense. They're going to come out on the Zen Goats comp. It is pretty standard here. Some regions we see run like an Orisa, maybe like an Orisa Diva composition. But, yeah, you know, play it safe. Might be a new meta, but at the moment, well, I don't know if there's a new meta per se, but it's just better to stick with what you know when not too much has changed.
Absolutely right. Well, it looks like we might be seeing... You see, I hate commenting on the attackers, because you never know if it's like for scouting, but if it's not for scouting, we could be seeing that attack quad DPS from NYYRIKKI.
I mean, as soon as you say it, they're already swapping, but I see Brokey here on the Hanzo, just to scout. Really smart guy. Unfortunately, he shot his sonar at the wrong place.
Oof. Alright, and the first engage, and immediately we see New Moon hopping onto the point, keep contesting, and a really good charge coming through from Leopard there, getting a lot of damage into the ult charge in for him. And of course, as what is usual with Goat's composition, they're just kind of brawling it out, trying to get some damage in there, trying to build up their ultimates as much as possible before the first pick comes through from YYRIKKI. Well played, getting Skipper out of the fight. But unfortunately, they are very close to their spawn, and a huge Earth Shadow will come through and give them the opportunity to take out YYRIKKI. And now a lot of picks coming through here from NYYRIKKI. It looks like they're going to be able to push this cart a little bit, but Raptor still contesting. Gets taken down, followed by Sile. Get killed so that you can reset. I like it.
Yeah, definitely a big fan. The tactical reset, I think it's called. Good play so far from NYYRIKKI Frost. Oh, but the thing that makes me sad about New Moon, they got that pick, but they were so low, so many cooldowns expected. They should have just backed off in the first place, and there was no way they would have expected Leopard to get the shatter that quickly. Luckily for them, they have this next fight. A lot of ults in the built up too, and we're gonna see them engage with Rally.
Nice rally coming through, giving them a little bit of extra armor to try and negate the fact that they are losing a lot of health in the And NYYRIKKI, really smart, they're just backing up here. They're backing up, they're regrouping, they're getting all of their cooldowns together, and they're going to engage with something huge. Oh, and the shatter gets blocked, but the grab will come through, followed closely by a self-destruct, which does manage to take out Skipper, and that's pretty big. The Zarya is out of the picture now. This is an opportunity for them. Oh, but Lebedev takes out Zenyatta, followed up closely by an Earth Shatter of his own, which does actually get some picks, and more picks will come through from NYYRIKKI, and they will continue to move this cart half of the course.
Yeah, really good ult use so far. You know, the shatter doesn't work. They decide to just commit the graviton. By the way, now Skipper is 80% to yet another one. New Moon so far seem to be just struggling a little bit. And just want to let you guys know, the teams did swap sides here. It is now New Moon in the blue, NYYRIKKI in the red.
Alright, so, and now we're seeing a little bit of poke damage coming through here. Nobody really wants to engage onto NYYRIKKI as they're pushing through tunnel with payload. We're just going to see New Moon waiting it out here, waiting for them to come through so that they can go in with a full engage. And here comes the engage with the rally from NYYRIKKI. It's going to give them a lot of armor, but a counter rally will come through as well. It kind of evens it out. The Earth Shatter gets completely denied. No follow-up there at all. Now we see a counter Earth Shatter, which does manage to get two. The first two picks will come through. It is both Reinhardts, and it is still a fairly even matched fight. They're going to keep rolling it out on this point. The next pick will come through from NYYRIKKI. They have an opportunity here to push. They're pulling back a little bit, getting a little bit of healing, waiting for their cooldowns, and now they're engaging once again. They know that they have the numbers advantage, if only for a moment. They keep pushing through. Their Reinhardt is back. Lots of damage coming through here, and the next pick will come through onto Zarya. Unfortunate, and the picks will continue on. And, okay, I would have staggered that D.Va, but that's a choice.
Yeah, well, if you don't stagger the D.Va, she stalls the card. You're just wasting time at that point. Yeah, but then I think the big struggle right now with New Moon is that Raptor is having a lot of trouble blocking these shatters, and that's the thing you really need to be mindful as the Ride. Like, you could be winning a fight, but if your team gets 5 or 6 man shattered, that's fight turning. And now because of that, 2 minutes 45 seconds to get just around this last corner. New Moon have some ults in the bank. They got the bigger bang combo. That's likely what we're going to see this time around, but NYYRIKKI has pretty much close to getting the big 6, so it's going to be 6 ult versus 3.
Well, we see the rally coming through here from NYYRIKKI, followed up by a grab from New Moon, and the self-destruct gets 2 from NYYRIKKI. That is huge, taking down both tanks. That creates a massive opening for them. They just need to do cleanup now. They take down the 3rd tank, and I really hope the supports either die or reset.
And the best part for NYYRIKKI is that they didn't commit more than they needed to. They still have the armor from the rally. They only used the bigger bang combo, and they still have both the support ults. They have Lepidev's Earth Shatter. They have the chance to build up the Graviton Surge again, so this is really good ultimate economy from NYYRIKKI. Luckily, New Moon didn't manage to expend too much before losing that fight, so they're still not out of the game just yet.
Interesting rotation from NYYRIKKI here. They're coming from behind, expecting, or sorry, from New Moon. They're expecting NYYRIKKI to be in front, which is where they were. They came from behind. Now they push through with the Graviton, and the self-destruct gets a tank, and the Leo. That's absolutely huge. This is an opportunity for them to finally stall it out. They do use 2 ultimates, but 100% worth, as they will still have more ultimates for the next push.
Yeah, unfortunately, too bad they couldn't do anything about the cap. Now, New Moon, still again, ult in the bank. The trance came out to no avail, which is really good for New Moon. Hopefully this time around, they're going to be able to get something out of that shatter, but Raptor, Lebedev has a shatter, so please keep your shield up, buddy.
We see the rally coming through here from New Moon. Oh, the shatter! Buddy. But the beat is so huge. It does keep them alive through that shatter. Now they have an opportunity to push. They've got a little bit of extra health now. Okay, the beat's gone, but they do have the rally. They've got an opportunity here, but they're backing out. They're giving a lot of space. They're looking for those sight lines. They're really backing out.
I guess they're waiting for, you expended a lot of abilities just to stay alive there, so they wanted to get their cooldowns back before they go into this next push. So now, it looks like they're ready to do that as the cart is stalled around this corner. Oh! Andrew gets the grab!
But the self-destruct will come through and manage to take down the Brigida. Unfortunately, Lebedev does go down as well. So it's a pretty even trade. The Transcendence will come through to keep the rest of New Moon alive as they push NYYRIKKI back to spawn.
When using the later support ult, having the later support ult usage too was a big factor. Shield is down, you have the trance, you know they don't have anything else to sustain themselves. So you use that opportunity, just get aggressive, W mouse 1, the good stuff.
The good stuff, that's exactly what you need. Now, once again, they're going in for yet another re-engage. A lot of damage coming through. Skipper's pretty high charge on that Zarya, despite having to reset. There's going to be a lot of damage coming through here. And everybody using the payload for a little bit of cover. Oh, but Left charges in. Doesn't manage to get anything. The Transcendence follows him into the charge, which is... it's a choice. The Graviton Surge comes through, which is perfect because it allows Lepdef to swing his hammer and kill, like, everyone. Good job, Lepdef.
Skipper is so high energy. He literally just had his grab eaten last fight. Already pulled out another one. So now, this is kind of like the last second here for New Moon. They're going to charge onto the point. Sile has another Graviton Surge. Hopefully this hits the mark.
Oh, but here comes the Graviton Surge, followed by the Self-Destruct, and it gets nothing. Beautiful shield there from Lebedev. Now they're going to continue to roll it out on point, but unfortunately... oh, wait, here comes yet another Self-Destruct. Can it get anything? Gets absolutely nothing. The whole of New Moon managing to hide from the devastating damage that could have been. The Transcendence comes through, followed by a beat and an Earth Shatter. These ultimates are just being thrown out, and nothing is getting any value until now. Skipper does manage to take down Raptor, and that's going to be a huge pick for them. Both rallies come through, followed by a Earth Shatter that gets absolutely nothing. Now we have yet another Graviton Surge from Skipper. What are you even? And all the damage is coming through, and this time it looks like it's Support's chance to kill absolutely everything from a Graviton. But Wrecking Ball on point, trying to create a little bit of stall there, but unfortunately not able to, and NYYRIKKI will push this third point.
Yeah, they kind of struggled a little bit there because NYYRIKKI seemed to have an issue with, you know, focus firing. You could see them kind of going in a few different directions, focusing on different people at a time. And especially when you're on the last point where that defender's advantage is huge, you don't want to play like that. However, the Diva Bomb came so big, it put New Moon completely on their back foot. So because of that, there was no way they would have managed to stabilize in time. But still, holding until overtime, very respectable. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not they can finish and take this in overtime rounds.
And I mean, you mentioned Skipper before, but I gotta say it again. His ult charge is so good. He gets such high energy, and that really speaks to big brain bubble placement, right? Knowing exactly when to bubble yourself, exactly when to bubble your Rhine, and just farming that charge and ultimately your ultimate generation. He had Graviton almost every fight in that last phase. So that really created huge opportunity for them. You know, sometimes your self-destruct doesn't get too much damage, but just the fact that you've got the entire team stuck in one place and you've got a Reinhardt that can swing and you've got supports that are apparently snipers, it worked out.
Well, for sure. That's why there's so many different aspects here in this Ghost meta. That's why, you know, even the supports get some really key damage in, some key CC if you're Lucio. Yeah, sometimes sometimes it's enough for the bomb to just force someone out of position, and then your team can just pounce onto them. So now, same thing, Zen Goat's defense. Doubt the scouting arrow from New Moon is going to reveal much of anything. Unless, oh no, they knew where to look!
Oh, big brain. And it looks like they're running the pharmacy, which I'm really excited to see. There's going to be a lot of damage going into that tunnel.
Nary, it's quad DPS.
We did it, boys. We did it. It's the dream. All this damage being plowed into this Goat's composition. The first pick-off will come through from Yickens. The second as well. Immediately, huge advantage. Like, quad DPS, what makes quad DPS so strong, Pete?
Well, the thing about it in this case is that Raptor is just going to be getting in the face of NYYRIKKI, just causing all sorts of disruption. It isn't really going to be about the damage or the kills for him. He's just making the space by just sheer annoyance and presence. So that means Yukids and Drio and the rest are able to just get the damage off that they need. Yukids, I mentioned first because he's already done so, has the Rocket Barrage. He's actually hiding up in the top here. Might be looking to get an early barrage off.
Well, he's going to have to look at a different place because that is not where the team is. But he might be able to get one from behind if he drops down. The bubble will come through from the Winston, but gets melted, so it would have offered no protection. An initial pick will come through from NYYRIKKI. But all the trades are coming through here, one for one, one for one. The bombs will come through onto the payload to stop the rest of NYYRIKKI from getting back onto cart. New Moon are trying really hard here to keep the dissension going. The Dragon Strike will come through, but gets absolutely nothing. Unfortunate. Now we see the Valkyrie coming through, also from New Moon. New Moon investing a lot of ultimates into this fight while backing out. Oh, and here comes the barrage. Barrage manages to get a kill, but will get sniped out by Skipper. New Moon managing to take this back. They came through with that seeming soft reset. Now they're pushing back onto point, getting a lot of picks, but not enough. They are not on point. They've got their DPS scattered all around with the Wrecking Ball continuing to contest.
Still, it was
big
a good
EMP comes through.
Still, I was going to say it's a good idea, the fact that they're still taking this fight. Skipper with the EMP, though, is going to make this really hard.
Bob comes through and goes on a holiday, apparently. There he is. But the beat will come through to protect everybody from the damage. And the mines will be put between the payload and the doors, which will stop, not much, because NYYRIKKI are on the other side of the payload. Valiant attempt, but once again, it seems like New Moon are throwing too many ultimates.
Yeah, excellent just decision-making from NYYRIKKI here. They realize that this quad DPS is just going to completely trounce the comp they had before. They go for the skip on the Widowmaker. They just move for a more mobile comp in general, and it's a good way to deal with these squishy DPS heroes.
Ooh, Self-Destruct comes through and manages to take down Sile on that Zarya, and that's pretty big. Once again, getting that initial pick is always huge. They've also now got the D-Mech onto Endrio, and it's going to force them to do yet another soft reset. Oh, but the Moira Orb! Oh, that is so unfortunate. That is the last thing you want, to be killed by a Moira Orb.
Yeah, but at least at least Endrio didn't get staggered, so at least he has that to look forward to. I think an interesting thing about the way NYYRIKKI is running this comp is that they're just so good with this backline pressure right now. We're going to see Chalky Milk actually get hacked there.
Yeah, we've got Skipper in the backline trying to get some hacks off, try and create some dissension. He's a little bit far from the rest of the team. The fight is happening on point, and it looks like New Moon are starting to payload a little bit. NYYRIKKI waiting for their cooldowns, waiting for that opportunity to pounce. But Skipper gets taken down early, and that's going to huge. It creates a lot of opportunity. He actually died with the EMP. Oh, and the Earth Shatter comes through and it manages to get two people, and with that they manage to get their first picks, and they might actually be able to push this. In fact, yeah, they will. Big picks.
Fun fact, they're gonna make it to point A. It's gonna be in overtime. Yes, for just fractions of a second. Really, just by the skin of their teeth, do New Moon get to the point here. The swap on the Zen Ghost really works out for them because it's hard for Levideath on the Winston to block that shatter, as we saw, so it was a lot easier for him to get it off. Now he's halfway to another one, and in general, ult economy-wise, it's looking quite good for New Moon. They have both their support ults, actually they're grabbed. They almost have everything here, save for Raptor's Earth Shatter.
Now, once again, the brawl is happening on this point here. Levideath going in a little bit deep there. He might get punished for it, but he does manage to survive. Zarya keeping him alive with the rest of the supports. Oh, and here comes a huge Graviton surge. Is there anything to follow it up? Here comes the self-destruct. Will it get anything? No! Huge bubbles from Skipper, managing to keep his team alive, followed with the Rhine Shield. Nothing gets taken. Oh, but Denner manages to take down Raptor, and again, that is a huge pick for them, and it looks like New Moon are going to have to reset once again. But NYYRIKKI are chasing.
The worst part is that Raptor died mid-shatter, so he actually loses that ult charge. And what was an ult advantage for New Moon is suddenly an advantage for NYYRIKKI. Committed too much and didn't get much value for it. I think Endrio was too slow on the self-destruct there. The grab was good. Ballsy, but good. Lobbing it from quite a distance, not afraid of getting it eaten. And it didn't. So now the teams have swapped sides, it looks like.
Big high ground rotation from New Moon here, and yes, they have swapped sides. Who's attacking? Who's defending? Nobody knows. We're still waiting. There's like a lot of damage coming through here. Trying to. Oh, that Earth Shatter manages. Kyle is protected by the rest of his team, followed up by a really good beat. Here comes the counter grab, followed by a self-destruct. Will it get anything? Nothing. Gets nothing. Great shield there from Raptor. Absolutely huge. But Denner, Raptor, you keep dying to Denner. You can't do this, man. And the fight is still going. The divas are trying to kill each other on the high ground. It's an absolute mess. Counter Graviton will come through, followed by a Transcendence to keep everybody alive. And it looks I don't know. This is an absolute mess. Beatdown, what do you think is going on here?
Well, I think part of the reason Raptor died was because he got the transing Mickey was booped away, so he got pretty much shredded down. But he has another Earth Shatter. He's back into this fight here. If Lebedev can't block it, this might actually be the hold.
Now we're waiting to see, will it be the hold that we are expecting? They have just a few seconds, got to stay on cart. New Moon cannot afford to step off this point. The Earth Shadow comes through, gets nothing, that is unfortunate. Down, the Graviton Surge coming through to keep them off of point, but not for long enough. We do see the Transcendence come through as well. Chalky Milk managing to take down 2 people was pretty huge. Let's go, Lucio. The fight, the brawl is still happening. Chalky Milk, what are you, dude? Chalky Milk getting all of the kills here. Yikid's managing to get a pick as well. The fight is still going. They do manage to clean up point. This is an opportunity for them to try and push through to the end. They have 1 ultimate, and NYYRIKKI will be back any second.
Yeah, but Sile is clearly very high energy. Built another Graviton Surge. Might just want to use it on the door to guarantee that 3rd point cap, and it seems like New Moon is, it seems like NYYRIKKI is aware of this, and they're taking a bit of an unusual approach. You see Sile looking at the top, but it's still gonna work.
Very well played there from Sile. Big brain managing to get that Graviton Surge and get the pick onto Lebedev. The cart has reached point, and they're going to force NYYRIKKI to do a regroup. They're chasing NYYRIKKI down though. They've left the Zenyatta on cards, and they want to get as many picks as possible to stall out their regroup as much as they can possibly.
That's good. You get some free ult charge in the process, and it seems like it's working. Chalky Milk has the sound barrier online. Raptor with the shatter as well. It's going to be a good opportunity for Sile, who still has armor, to build another Graviton Surge. He's been building them very quickly, but it looks like Skippa's going to come to his first.
Again, Earth Shatter managing to get 2, but the beat will come through and save all of them. Self-destruct managing to get Vito on that Brigida, and that is not what you want to see. New Moon really seem to be showing some dominance here on this 3rd point, and they're managing to clean up NYYRIKKI and keep this payload rolling.
Very well placed D.Va bomb here from Endrio, managing to get Vito out of the picture, but still now there's a lot of ults on the side of NYYRIKKI, so now there's a good chance they win this fight just by sheer ultimate advantage.
We've seen both rallies come through here. It's going to give them a lot of ult charge. Now we see the self-destruct into an Iris. Manage. That's not what New Moon wanted. This is their last opportunity. They have literally seconds until it goes into overtime, and it looks like they will get held here by NYYRIKKI. The Graviton Surge, though, keeping the rest of NYYRIKKI off point, but not for long enough. Zenyatta trying to contest, but not able to. Now we've got Raptor on the Wrecking Ball on this point. The pile drive comes through. He's trying, but there's just way too much damage. The rest of New Moon are not going to be able to get onto point unless D.Va can. D.Va manages to get there, but the D-Mech comes through so quickly. Can Brigida touch point? Can she get there? No, she can't. She will get taken down. Lucio not able to get there in time, and NYYRIKKI hold.
Yeah, we now have a series 1-1 here. Really exciting so far. And honestly, really good play from NYYRIKKI on the defense. As soon as that D.Va bomb from Donald got to, that was really the end of it. So many ults were already expended from the side of New Moon. So how are you really going to come back from that, especially with 2 members?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we're seeing where the supports absolutely popped off in that last Graviton Surge. That was quite huge. I would say that New Moon's biggest issue at the moment, it's something we've spoken about a few times, is just over expending their ultimates and just using too many of them and not really thinking about the next fight. It seems like they're a little impatient. They keep focusing on this fight and they're not looking at the next fight.
Yeah, rather short-sighted, really. And that's something they do need to work on going forward. It was a problem in the first map. This time, it actually cost them, I think, because, that overcommitment meant in later fights, especially the fights that really mattered, you don't have the ultimates that you need to sustain and, ideally win. So now, we're going into the 3rd map, which is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Control. Yeah, it's going to be Evil Sky Industries. So the thing about that is, ultimate economy is really important on 2CP more than anything else, I would say.
Well, you're not wrong, but it looks like the teams have asked for a short break, so I think we're going to throw it to a short break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go. Welcome back, everybody. We are back here for NYYRIKKI versus second map, and the score is tied up at the moment. So we're going to take a moment to see. We are now on Volskaya. This is a assault type map, and it's the 2CP as a lot of us know it as. Beatdown, what do you think we can expect to see here on Volskaya?
You know, before we went to break, I was talking about how I think more than other map types, it's most important here on 2CP to get your ult economy on lock, so to speak, because it's so hard when you're attacking. Yeah, point A is easy. Anybody can take point A. A gold team can take point A. But taking point B is so hard because of that ridiculous spawn advantage if you don't build the right ult combos, if you don't bait out key ultimates from the enemy team, you're really going to struggle to finish these maps out. So it's so hard because the teams are just going to be pouring in from the spawn room, just completely shaving down your time bank, even if you do finish. So that's why, like, really stellar ult economy is part of what's going to get you over that hump and get those sweet 5-minute time banks we love to see.
Beat just so savage, in before full hold.
I didn't say it was gonna happen. Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. All right, but it looks like we're seeing quad DPS. Is this the dream?
Oh my god.
Quad DPS on Volskaya.
2
Let's
maps
go.
in a row.
And we're seeing a lot of damage coming through here from New Moon on Yikki's on that Pharah, trying to get a lot of trying to chip away at those health pools and really create some work for the enemy supports. Of course, that just feeds the support ultimates as well. So we'll see how that goes. A hack comes through onto the D.Va, and will D.Va get demeched? Yes, she does get demeched, and will she get taken down? They're managing to keep her alive just a little bit, but very dominant push coming through. Pharah going down to Brokey on that Zenyatta. That's pretty huge. Can you say Zen Sniper? The fight is still going on point. One tick already being taken, but it looks like we might see a little bit of a soft reset here as New Moon waits for the rest of their team to come back.
So this is the smart way to deal with it here. NYYRIKKI did it very well by, regrouping, allowing them to take the tick. Yeah, whatever, you can have a bit of that. But then they come back once the cooldowns have reset. Once they have all the tools they need, they start to go with the dive. And now we see Sile on the back here trying to get a key hack off. They don't really see him either.
Valkyrie is going to come through here to try and keep their team alive, and that damage boost, of course, onto 3 or 4 people at a time is quite huge. They are managing to put a lot of damage in. The Lucio will go down on for New Moon, which is unfortunate for them, and the Winston will go down, and it looks like NYYRIKKI might be able to take this point. And New Moon not giving any space, though. They are continuing to fight this out as much as they can, but the picks will keep coming through for NYYRIKKI, and they will take this first point.
This is actually a really dangerous situation to be in if you're NYYRIKKI, because the problem is they really didn't build up they didn't build up enough ult charge across the 2 fights to really be able to hold here. Sile has the EMP, and they have fought 4 more ults too.
The first pick will come through from Hanzo there onto the Lucio, and that they don't speed boost to get back onto point. We've got Winston for NYYRIKKI still trying to contest that, waiting for the rest of his team to come through, but the EMP will come through and it will get absolutely everyone. The rocket barrage will manage to take down the Brigida as well. Dragon Strike comes through, getting even more kills, and New Moon showing a very dominant display here, but the Transcendence comes through, managing to keep NYYRIKKI alive for just that little bit longer. New Moon still have a massive advantage here, but NYYRIKKI are coming back onto point, and it looks like New Moon, they're still putting a lot of poke damage in, trying to get a put so they can re-engage. But here comes the Graviton Surge, and in the Graviton Surge, Raptor will go down to Denna and force NYYRIKKI to finally reset. Big play from Brokey, having the Transcendence in time, managing to keep his team alive during the tactical visor. It was a really difficult moment for them, but him being alive managed to allow NYYRIKKI to get the rest of their ultimates online here, like including Lepadef with the Primal Rage, Skipper with the Graviton Surge. That just managed to overcome the ult advantage that was, ever so present on the side of New Moon. Now New Moon is forced to swap to the GOATS composition here, and now suddenly we're in a GOATS mirror. Mirror Goats is pretty damn good, and it is both Zen Goats, so both very strong forms of the Goats composition. But as you say, NYYRIKKI have a huge advantage in ults, and immediately taking down 2 of the tanks, and that's going to completely shut down New Moon's attack. Sorry guys, back to spawn with you.
Hey, winning with one ult 2, you love to see it. They've already shaved 2 minutes off the time bank here. NYYRIKKI are in a good position right now. They are ahead in ult charge. They have double support ults available, which is really huge for them. Skippa doing just fine in ult charge as well. Is probably going to get that Graviton Surge pretty soon if he can maintain the ult charge.
New Moon coming in here for yet another engage. They are slowly managing to build up their ultimates. If they can stay alive for this next fight, they will be able to have some ultimates online. They're going for quite a wide rotation around the left. They do already have one tick. They just need to get the second two. Wow, really wide rotation here. Interesting strategy from them. Okay, we're still going.
Wow,
we're still going, boys. We're going forever.
Yeah, but now the problem is they got separated.
Yeah, they got very separated. Zen is all alone there on that high ground. Lucio going to try and save him, and they have just wound up exactly where they would have been had they come straight down mid. It's a very interesting rotation from New Moon. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Deep, what do you think?
Mary, it's all about the mind games, because now you see NYYRIKKI are also wondering, well, why did they do that? What are they plotting? You know what I mean? But now, New Moon are approaching the point. They have some really good ults. They've already started off with some rallies, so we're going to see if this grab comes out.
Ooh, the Earth Shadow comes through, and that's quite big, but as you say, here comes Surge, followed by a Transcendence, just enough to keep up. The fights are carrying on. There's a counter Graviton managing to get two, followed by a beat and a self-destruct. The self-destruct will manage to take down the Brigida, and immediately they are getting the picks that they need. And I just want to point out that actually that rotation was huge. And let me break it down for you. They went all the way around, putting in a bunch of poke damage to build up their ults, so that when they got around, they had all six, and they managed to take this push. Now we've got Wrecking Ball trying to stall it out on point. They used the Transcendence to keep the stall long enough to get Wrecking Ball on point, but it wasn't enough. The Earth Shadow will come through. Picks will continue to come through for New Moon. Oh, but here comes the self-destruct from NYYRIKKI, managing to get the Zarya. She bubbled her Reinhardt, but didn't have bubble up for herself, but it is not enough. New Moon will continue to get the picks that they need to take this. But oh, once again, Wrecking Ball with the big stall. But here comes the self-destruct to continue clearing out the point. Big stall tactic, and they managed to take the second point.
Still, they went from 6 minutes to just under 2. That being said, though, still really good play from New Moon so far. Managing to finish the point here with some really good ult advantages. They managed to, so many ults came out in that fight, but it really seemed to just come down to the shatters being blocked. Like Skippa, it was a good decision to throw the grab and try to, you know, our team got shattered. Let me grab them so they can't come at us. It works out. But,
yeah.
And you also force out the trans in the process. That's great. But the problem now is that you don't have any actual follow-up to the grab. Yeah, the CC is nice, but you need kills. And because of that, NYYRIKKI managed to come back with their grab and actually got a lot more value out of it. On top of blocking the shatter out of New Moon. So there's just so much to that fight.
And it feels like New Moon are doing a lot better in conserving their ultimates as well. We saw that with that very interesting rotation that all became clear once they got back to mid, and suddenly everybody had their ultimate. They threw all of those ultimates in that fight, and they managed to take point. I was pretty impressed with that. They had me fooled for a minute there, but we figured it out. We did it, Reddit.
We did it, Reddit. Yeah, you know, sometimes they say ultimate advantage is not enough, but sometimes it really do be like that. So now we're seeing New Moon on this defense. They're actually going for the double sniper, which is I like it, but now my concern is that it doesn't seem like it'll do really well against Goats. The kids, at least he can do a lot of poke damage, a lot of shield break, but Sile on the Widow has none of that. It's literally like you gotta catch somebody slipping and you can't miss.
You're not wrong, and they've immediately figured out that the double sniper is what's happening, and they're going to change. I'm expecting a Winston. I'm expecting Lebedev. Yep, there it is.
Okay.
Winston to try and deal with those snipers as quickly as possible. Now they're coming back. They are going to start that re-engage, waiting for everybody to regroup and wait for it. Here we go. The dive is in with the bubble. Up, he misses the high ground, unfortunately. Weird. They're fighting it out behind this point where not much is actually happening. Again, waiting for that cooldown to come back. He gets knocked off of the high ground. Unfortunate. Winston's jetpack being put to zero use, and Sile managing to take down Lucio and immediately pushing them back, straight back to spawn.
Well, the problem here is that New Moon, they make the absolute correct decision. Run the Winston Goats. It's the best way to deal with this. But now, the wrong decision is how they played it. You don't poke double sniper. You're gonna lose. You need to dive them. You need to get right in their face because up close, within 5 feet of them, that is when, like, any Goats comp is the strongest. You need to get up close, and you just need to shred them.
Well, now we're going for the long range rotation. Oh, and Winston misses his jump as well, and that's going to give them an opportunity to save themselves from a little bit of damage with their actual engage. And here it goes. Winston diving straight down onto the tanks, kind of ignoring those snipers, and he gets taken out and punished for it. And immediately, that's the first pick onto NYYRIKKI, and they're forced to do a little bit of a reset here. They're hiding out in the top room. If they poke now, they're going to get taken out while they wait for their Winston, and their Winston is going to be met by Raptor, who's going to try and stop him from getting back to the rest of his team.
Yeah, but like, how is Lebedev supposed to reunite with his team? He's going to get pounced on by Raptor. We're kind of seeing it happening right now, and it looks like Lebedev actually wants to take this fight.
Well, it seems like he did win it, and now he's finally on the high ground, but as he high ground, the Lucio goes down, and he goes down to the Hanzo. I feel like this position really just is not working out for them.
Which is astonishing to me, because this is really like the correct way, this is the correct strategy to run, but the issue is this with how they're approaching this. Like the fight previous to this, they go up on the high ground, they go around onto the left side, and then we're expecting, okay, great, they're gonna dive onto Sile and Mikji. That's perfect. They don't do that. Then they just go back out down the stairs, and they just get completely smashed. And the problem here is that, you know, just take advantage of your bigger health pools. Just get in their face, because you're gonna beat them.
Yeah. Oh, but here comes the Dragon Strike, and it's placed pretty badly. Unfortunate. It's at a little bit of a downward angle and managed to get anything. The Transcendence still comes through, though. They baited out that Transcendence, which is pretty huge for New Moon. NYYRIKKI have finally managed to make their way onto the point. Lebedev battling it out with Raptor there. Oh, the self-destruct will come through and get nothing. Beautiful bubble there from Skipper. They are managing to hold out onto the point. The raise will come through onto the Zenyatta, though. New Moon still have an opportunity here to hold, but it looks like they are going to be forced. Oh, beautiful Graviton Surge. I think that NYYRIKKI will be able to finally take this first point and have an opportunity to push on to second.
Yeah, very scary, though, with only 30 seconds left down from 4 minutes. It seems like NYYRIKKI almost had this in the bag, but the weaknesses of that double sniper are starting to show. Now, New Moon know this. They're making the swap here. We got the Pharah. We have Raptor onto this Wrecking Ball. That's going to be an interesting defense. It looks like they're actually going to opt for the Pharah Sombra, but you kids already goes down.
How do you go down to a win so quickly after swapping? Wow, NYYRIKKI with the big snowball there, managing to take out the... Oh, the picks just keep coming. Hello, where were you on first point? Welcome to the game, boys. We did it, Reddit.
And it just seems like in this moment, all of a sudden, New Moon's like, oh wait, this is how we're supposed to run the comp. And then this is what happens. Because, again, it just worked.
It just worked. That first push, I think what really threw them off was in their very first push, Lebedev missed his first jump pack, and the second jump pack, he got booped off of point. Like, every time he tried to get up onto that high ground, they had an answer for it, and it really took them a minute to get their stride together. And it was only on that final push where they finally managed to plow that damage into New Moon and take this first point. Then suddenly, they had taken down so many, they went for the full snowball, and unfortunately, Yigit's going down so early to that to Lebedev on that Winston was really weird, and it just perpetuated the snowball.
Yeah, and I mean, New Moon finally decided to get aggressive and get up in their face. And it seems like the weaknesses of the DPS in this kind of meta kind of have shown through. The fact that you just have such a low hero pool and it's so easy for you to get blown up. And I think because of how quickly the point was captured and how quickly New Moon made the move on to point B, it seems NYYRIKKI might have been a little too slow to set themselves up, especially losing their Pharah, like, as soon as the fight starts, and that's a lot of your damage gone.
Well, we're seeing a typical GOATS composition on this defense here, but running it with that Moira, which I don't mind it too much, but we're seeing, once again, this quad DPS from New Moon, and I wonder if it's going to work out the same way that it did for them the first time. It did actually work out incredibly well, and they've gone in for a back cap. NYYRIKKI have to find their way back onto point while getting pummeled with damage from that Pharah, but it's not enough damage apparently. They are still managing to survive. They're hiding out in this room, trying to get a little bit of healing out here from their Moira. Their Moira is going to run out of healing any second now, but the first pick will come through from Skipper onto Raptor. Unfortunate. Soldier up on this high ground, doing a lot of poke damage, but the shield is protecting. The barrage comes through and gets two. Absolutely huge, and the coalescence will come through and not get too much. Did that get stunned out?
No, if we're referring to the rocket barrage, it ended up finishing, but then, you know, Dommels tried to get as much defense matrix as possible, but kind of responded a little late, and then defense matrix ran out, got the mech destroyed, and that was pretty much all she wrote. NYYRIKKI. Nope, sorry. New Moon on the attack, managing to take the point again, despite losing Raptor, which was really good of them. Yuki's didn't find many picks early on, but the Pharah damage managed to build up towards the rocket barrage, and that's where he shined.
Well, we're not going to see the same kind of snowball that we saw in the last attack here from New Moon. They're going to continue on with their little bit of poke damage. They do still have 2 ultimates in their bank. This Dragon Strike could be devastating. And the first pick-off will come through from McG, managing to take down that Lucio. That's pretty huge. And now we see all of the ultimates coming through. The EMP, the Valkyrie, the Dragon Strike. They are really going all in here. The next pick-off will come through onto Skipper on that Widow, but they are managing to hold strong. Orisa trying to hold on, but gets taken down by a nice headshot from Chalky Milk on the Mercy. That is not what you want to see. But it looks like NYYRIKKI might still be able to hold on here, but the barrage will come through and get nothing. Well played there from Dommels on that Diva, managing to take down the Pharah mid-barrage. The mines will come through onto the point to try and stall out and stop NYYRIKKI from getting back onto their point, but they don't mind too much. They've got an Orisa, they've got a shield, they're holding on. The Coalescence getting 2. Absolutely huge there. NYYRIKKI will stabilize.
And I think now, New Moon are kind of, this is kind of it for them. They only have Raptor and Endrio here onto the left point, but the struggle is that, they used all their ultimates and they got nothing forward, and running these DPS comps in, on point Bs is a lot more difficult due to the tight space. It's a lot less open, and that's where you see the weaknesses. And because those ults didn't work out, you can see now that this isn't really going to work out for them.
Yeah, they're trying to stagger onto point as much as they can to try and get another tick, but it's not working out for them. NYYRIKKI, they positioned themselves so well there on the corner. There was no way that any of the rest of New Moon were going to be able to get in, and it started out with Querskyle there in the back line on that Sombra, the first person to get taken down before the rest of the team could get back, completely halted their attack. And now we go again for yet another push.
Yep, but this time around now, if NYYRIKKI has to cap point A, and I believe just a tick of point B, and that'll be it. We'll have our winners of this map. Or they cap point A, and then they don't cap anything, and we get a draw. Never mind, after a draw, there's, I think there are tiebreaker maps.
Ready for battle.
Oh, that's right, they capped more than 50%. Gotcha. So no, there's no draw here. So this is it, win or lose. Everything is on the line here. First team to take the lead is about to be decided.
Let's see, what do we got on defense? Yeah, once again, we've got that Zen defense, and it worked out pretty well for them in the first round until... Oh, sorry, they didn't run this on the first round. I'm being silly. Oh. Ha! They're not running that double sniper because that didn't work out for them on the first round.
I mean, it worked out really well.
For a time.
For some reason, it just wasn't being dealt with properly. But either way, New Moon now on the Zen Ghost defense. We're actually probably going to see... We're not going to quite see the mirror. We actually are going to see Skipper on the Sombra, Lepidef on this Winston. It's probably just the scout. Skipper already goes back to spawn.
They were trying to see if they were running the double sniper again, and Lepidef that right. Huge big brain plays.
Oh, now yeah, actually. No, I was just gonna say now Lepidef goes to the Reinhardt instead of the Winston. I thought they were gonna stick with the dive goats moats, as some people call it. I don't know. But the point is, I felt dirty doing it. And so now, but it's good for Lepidef. He is going to be able to block the shadows, build up shadows of his own. I think it's a better matchup.
Well, here we go. The first attack is happening with a nice rotation around the left side. But fire strike this one. And Raptor then charges Denna into a wall. Unfortunate. New Moon will hold here quite convincingly, actually.
Yeah, it's gonna be Chalky Milk with 3 kills in that last fight. Doing so much damage right now on the Lucio, really getting in the face of NYYRIKKI. And now, they have some ults already. Sile has this Graviton Surge. McG is about to come up to the trance as well. So, you know, they're looking pretty good right now. They're going to be able to build a few more in this next fight as well. I'm going to expect Sile to use the grab, though, and just try to get this push done with as soon as possible.
And Chalky Milk is pretty scary. I mean, for a support player, he kills some people, man.
Oh, yeah.
We're now going for this high ground rotation, and we'll see if this works out a little bit better for them. They do have that.
No.
Oh, it gets eaten. It's huge, and the Earth Shatter gets completely blocked off, followed up by a huge Earth Shatter of his own. NYYRIKKI managing to get some picks. Both of the Brigidas have gone down. Lebedev managing to take down Raptor. That's pretty huge. Lebedev continuing to swing that hammer and get those kills, and it looks like they will take the first point. This is their opportunity now to win this map.
We'll talk about shutdown at every turn. Dommels eats the grab. Lebedev blocks the shatter. The two biggest ults, you could argue, in the GOATS comp. So that was pretty much all the defensive capabilities that New Moon had at their disposal. They still have the bomb, but unfortunately no grab to pair it with now. And they have double support ult. They're not exactly dead in the water, but still. Double support ult on the other side, as well as the bigger bang combo, means this isn't looking too good.
Oh, but now we see the rally come through, followed directly by a self-destruct, which does manage to take out Baito. That is pretty much going to stop their push in the water, followed by the kill onto Brokey. They are now going for a big ol' reset. They're not going to see the same kind of snowball that they saw the first time they attacked.
No, and this is good, although Yakids used the rally, so now their team is sitting on a little bit of armor. Raptor is coming to the shatter, but now this next fight is going to be a little tough because, again, NYYRIKKI still retain their double support ult and the bigger bang combo, actually. So this next fight is still going to be quite difficult for New Moon.
Yeah, NYYRIKKI with a lot of ultimates here. They've got a huge opportunity to push right on through. Once again, doing a little bit of poke here, edging forward very slowly, trying to get onto point. Ooh, Lebedev getting booped back by the whip shot. It's not really what you want, but he does manage to... Oh, another grab gets... Let's go, followed by the self-destruct anyway, just to see, but it doesn't get any value. Here come the Earth Shatters. Also, not too much value coming through here, but we do see a lot of... We saw the beat come through. Oh, and here's yet another Graviton Surge. And it looks like this fight will be won out by New Moon yet again.
And this is really huge for them. Now, 40 seconds left. They still retain their Transcendence. This is not a bad position to be in here. Actually, same ults are online from both sides. This is gonna be the last fight. We're not gonna see any swaps from NYYRIKKI. They're gonna stick with this to the end. Raptor's probably gonna come up to the shatter, so I really think a big win condition is they got him. Lebedev needs to block it. Just in general, NYYRIKKI needs to avoid it, because if they get CC'd like that, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, and just, I mean, even one CC ult could be everything. And now we see the two rallies coming through. It's really close here. Here comes a self-destruct followed by a beautiful Ascendant here from managing to survive that really well, keeping the rest of his team alive. Both Reinhardts have gone down. It's an even trade for the moment, but Skipper will go down to New Moon. New Moon managing to continue with their dominant display here on Volskaya. They will take down the Zenyatta as well, the last man standing, and overtime will tick down, and this map goes to New Moon.
Really good play, managing to get the main tank of NYYRIKKI out of the way, and then on top of that, once you grab them, there's no shield to protect them. It is really easy to cleave them down all the way to 0, so this is going to be their map.
Huge plays coming through here and great compositional swap-ups, I felt. We saw some really interesting stuff. That double sniper did work quite a long time, mostly due to the bit of uncoordinated dive we saw in the beginning. They did manage to rally together and push through in the end there, but I loved seeing the two comps, the different comps we saw from these two teams.
Yeah, me as well. So now it's looking really good so far. And yeah, I like this better this time with the ult economy. Sorry, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Much better ult economy from New Moon. They've really stepped up from that first map. And I think sometimes, you know, your first map can be a little bit iffy. And then as you warm up and push through it, it gets a lot better. And now we're going to move on to Barney, which is, of course, our hybrid map for the day. And this could be match point. New Moon are now up 2-1. If they can win this point out, they will win this matchup. But I want to, I'm big on trends and how trends go in games. And let's take a moment to notice that the two maps that involve control, so control and assault, went to New Moon, and the one map we've had so far that involved escort went to NYYRIKKI. Now we've got this hybrid. Beat, what do you think we're going to see on this map?
Well, although those are important factors, I still think it's important to also note what comps work really well here. And it seems like New Moon is more comfortable, you know, with the mobile comps, with the dive in general. So I still think Numbani is likely going to go their way just by virtue of that, because they really seem to be making the Winston Ghost composition work for them.
Well, yeah, we are now on to Numbani, and as you say, Winston's pretty good on this map. What I also love about this map is one of those maps where just about anything works. There are so many different compositions that you can run. We've seen so many different things. We've seen Winstons and Reinhardts and Goats and Double Sniper and Protect the McCree, and like there's so much versatility that you can bring to Numbani, and I'm really excited to see if we're going to see, maybe we'll see a little bit more quad DPS, because that's been fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I definitely can't say no to quad DPS. I'll take it every day of the week. And now, honestly, I wouldn't be... No, they're not going to do it here. That's crazy. But then again,
crazy
that's...
talk, beat down.
Yeah, it is crazy talk. But then again, I said it was crazy talk before, so maybe that's going to be the... Maybe that's the catalyst. Maybe I just have to say they won't do it and they do.
You're the big debate.
I'm just going to cast their cursor. That's how it works, right? To make teams do what I want. Or sorry, what I don't want.
What you don't want.
Exactly.
Eerie music plays.
But yeah, so on this defense, we're gonna see New Moon with the, like I was saying before, they're playing this dive composition here with the Sombra and the Brave. So Sile is gonna be looking for these really key hacks. It's gonna be tough against the Dive Goat's mirror that we're seeing from NYYRIKKI right now. So it's really going to be about whether or not Sile needs to get those really key hacks, and they need to be capitalized on instantly. Otherwise, there's going to be some serious struggle.
And he needs to not get caught out of position, because that has been happening a couple of times. But now we've got NYYRIKKI coming towards point, and again, we've seen they found Sile in the backline, or at least they know he's there, but they're not about him. Oh, but the first hack will come through immediately onto Brigitte. Not too concerned though. They're just walking away from Sile. They're not too concerned about what he's doing with his life. Big rotation straight onto point. Again, attempting this dive, but Lebedev not managing to make it onto the high ground. Doesn't matter, because New Moon will hop down onto the low ground and join them. And again, so much damage coming through here, and it looks like New Moon are doing a little bit, like they're not standing on point too much. It's almost like a bunker comp where they leave the Diva to consistently contest point, but they're doing it from the low ground. But a big EMP will come through and give them a lot of opportunity to get that first pick and the second pick, and yet the Transcendence will still come through to keep the rest of NYYRIKKI alive while they try to continue, the rest of NYYRIKKI, as they continue to try to contest this point, but it will not be enough. They will have to be forced to regroup.
The thing I'm taking issue with right now from NYYRIKKI is that they're playing this dive comp a little strangely. Like, they get some... Or sorry, not NYYRIKKI, I'm speaking about New Moon. This comp is working out for them, but I'm not seeing as much punish on the hacks as I would like to. Yes, Sile gets a good hack off, but you need to take advantage of it, because you know, you could hack someone who is ult, they need to disappear right away, and not doing so later on is something you can get heavily punished for.
Well, now we see the rally coming through for NYYRIKKI, but a big hack will come through onto the Diva. Will they capitalize on it? Doesn't look like it. NYYRIKKI managing to stay on point. They're doing a lot of damage here. Oh, but the Graviton Surge will come through, followed closely by an EMP. Huge EMP. Will it amount to anything? Yes, the Lucio will go down to a self-destruct, as well as the D-Mech. Immediately, everything is in favor of New Moon. NYYRIKKI needs to start getting some picks here if they want to be able to take this point. They're doing a little bit of a soft reset into this middle room, waiting for the raise. They were waiting for the Transcendence. Transcendence does come through, managing to keep them alive. They've all pushed straight onto point now, and the damage keeps flying. Denya will take down Yikids on that Brigitte, and they pop the beat as well. They're really throwing a lot of support ultimates into this, trying to take this point back. The self-destruct will come through and will still manage managed to get baby D.Va just after a huge D-mech. NYYRIKKI will take this first point.
New Moon, because they don't have the Zarya, it means it's okay for Brokey to just, use Trance to be aggressive. He doesn't have to worry about a Graviton Surge to save his team from. So I think that's a big factor in what allowed NYYRIKKI to win that point, because during a key moment, Brokey just commits the Transcendence, keeps his team healthy, allows them to get aggressive, and it lasts just a bit longer than Choky Milk's Sound Barrier. So now, Sile realizes that this is not really working. They go for just the classic Zen Goats. Lepidef already made the swap to the Reinhardt. Has the Shatter up as well. So, ult-wise, not bad here for NYYRIKKI. Gonna be pretty much weathered, but not. They go with the Graviton Surge or with the Earth Shatter.
Oh, Earth Shatter, just as you say, it comes through. Only managing to take the D.Va, but D.Va does get a lot of healing. Doesn't matter. Both supports will go down to Skipper in the back line. Where were you guys? Unfortunate. Huge kills coming through from NYYRIKKI. Yeah, big cleanup. They're not worried.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, Raptor managed to not get hit by the Shatter somehow. His team behind him did, so there was no one to really support him in that fight. They got killed, and then there wasn't really much follow-up to be had there. So now, Skippa are waiting to probably go for a grab around this corner. As long as it's not eaten by Dommels, they'll be looking pretty good. But it looks like there really wasn't a chance for New Moon to contest that last point, so they're just going to give it up and decide not to feed ult charge.
Very good idea, especially considering what we've been saying before about ult economy. Now NYYRIKKI managed to keep pushing this payload. It's going to turn the corner here, and New Moon are going to, have their last stand. I say last stand. They've still got 3.5 minutes, but this is where the stand is going to happen, right? A lot of damage coming through here, and they're just waiting for the payload to turn corner. Now we've got the rally coming through, and they are pushing NYYRIKKI back. Good lord. Like, as NYYRIKKI turned around the corner, New Moon were like, hello, and pushed straight through. Managing to get a pick onto the Brigida as well, and they're just pushing them straight back to spawn. They're like, get out of my game. I don't have time for you.
Well, this is good, because they get a lot of ult charge as a result. Now they've built up everything but the rally that they've already used, so they're sitting real pretty with all this armor. Both support, like, they have everything. So now, but they pretty much have everything safe for the rally on the other side too. So this is gonna be quite the flashy next fight. It's really just gonna be about who could shut down the enemy ult better. Maybe eat the grab, block the shatter. They're like that.
Blocked shatter, half blocked shatter, somehow. Ooh, but another shatter will come through, and he will get whipped by the Brigida. Unfortunate. Doesn't manage to get that shatter through. So that is 2 shatters gone with no results. Oh my word, okay. Mirror ultimate's coming through, and it will be New Moon that manages to eventually get a pick. Massive Q fest. Literally everybody hit Q, and only one person got a kick and a kill, and it did manage to allow New Moon to stabilize.
Well, this is the reason we keep talking about ultimate economy, Nary. Using all your ults in one fight like that isn't really how you want to play this. There are certain ult matchups. You use the shatter first. You try to get some kills and build your grab off of it if you don't have it already. You know what I mean? There's a lot of method to this, but we're not seeing that right now.
Well, the beat will come through to try and keep NYYRIKKI alive as they go in for their next attack. We've got 2 rallies that have come through as well. New Moon are giving quite a bit of space here, waiting for those cooldowns, waiting for the rally armor to just build up there. Now they're going to try and continue with this contest. NYYRIKKI, Skipper has got so much charge here. He's got that Graviton already from the last fight. There the Graviton comes through. Now the Transcendence comes to counteract it, and it does work. Nobody dies. The Earth Shadow will come through and get nothing. Now we've got the counter beat as well, followed up by the counter grab. The counter grab doesn't get too much. As I say that though, both tanks will go down for NYYRIKKI, and New Moon once again stabilizing.
Lepidef not getting much out of the shatter, and on top of the fact that he just died immediately after getting solo grabbed, pretty much signaled the end of that fight for NYYRIKKI. So now that they're going back here, they don't really have much to work with. Yeah, Skippa was high charge, but unfortunately, you don't take that with you when you get forced back to the spawn room. So now only 40% to his next grab. No ult combos online. Barely any ults online to begin with. Brokey is going to be the only one with anything substantial at the moment. Hopefully, Skippa can build the grab soon enough that they can go for a bigger bang combo, but it's not the greatest position for NYYRIKKI, who are going for a weird rotation.
Yeah, big rotation once again. We've been seeing this quite a few times today. They've really turned the tides here in terms of where they're positioned. And now they're just going in, trying to get a lot of damage in there. And once again, build up as much as possible. We might be seeing a little bit of a dry push just for the next couple of seconds while they wait to build up some charge here. But unfortunately, we still have the Earth Shatter and the self-destruct from New Moon, as well as a Transcendence. This is not looking too good for NYYRIKKI, and they're not engaging. Here comes the self-destruct. As I say, that followed very closely by a beat. Now we see yet another self-destruct. Both self-destructs getting absolutely no value. Both Transcendences have come through. Now we see yet another Graviton Surge. But here, the Graviton Surge will get the value that we have been waiting for. New Moon managing to take down both supports. All-out Brawl is continuing. Sile doing so much on this Zarya. Now we've got yet another Graviton Surge from NYYRIKKI, and NYYRIKKI Skipper's ult charge is so crazy on this Zarya. Now we have yet another beat, but that was just a victory beat. They take this map.
Yeah, just real quick, I just want to say I really want I want a stat for Overwatch, like how quickly a what's the word? Ult charge rate for a Zarya. Like I just want to know how quickly. I want like an actual number on how quickly some of these Zaryas charge their grabs, because this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Skipper has been shining on that Zarya this whole game. He can play a lot of other heroes. We've seen that. We've seen that a bit and some other things. But this Zarya is clearly where he belongs, man. That's where the world wants him to be.
Yeah, now it's just I think like we were talking again. Like I don't know. I keep hating to beat a dead horse. But please, why did you kill him in the first place? Just manage your ultimates, please. And on top of that, you really need to track what ults your enemy has. So I'm not really seeing that, especially from NYYRIKKI at the end. Yeah, earlier on, Sile was on the Sombra. So Brokey, that's kind of a free transfer you because there's no grab to worry about. But you know, they started running Sombra later. So once that happens, you have to switch that mindset where it's like, hey, okay, now they have a Zarya. I should save transfer grab. But the issue now is that like in that last fight, he just kind of used it. And then as soon as that happened, New Moon's like, oh, okay. Then,
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, wow, really? You're just going to trans? All right, thanks. Grab. And because of that, you know, that lack of sustain is really dangerous, and they suffered for it. So that now NYYRIKKI still have a good distance to hold for. You know, it's not like dead in the water, but no longer a chance to tie. Very much like last map. This is pretty much going to be one and done.
Well, yeah, we got this interesting attack once again with the Pharah and the Sombra. And again, I'm really hoping to see some good hacks come through here from Sile. Raptor with the interesting back cap here. Denia will drop the point to try and meet him there and push them way back again. Sile managing to get the pick off onto Lebedev. That's pretty huge. That is ridiculously huge. This is New Moon's opportunity. Now they can get onto the point. Vito doesn't have that bash anymore. Nice, gets taken down immediately by Raptor. And New Moon, they're on point here. Domels does manage to take down Raptor though, but Domels is hacked very low. They need to follow up with a little bit more damage before he can get healed up. Chockymill gets the res on Raptor. Huge! Takes down Mikti though. Oh, and there comes the barrage as well. Such an early barrage. But the picks are definitely moving in favor of New Moon. Yeah, NYYRIKKI are going to be forced to regroup. Or just keep contesting. I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, now it looks like New Moon is just going to be forced to use the EMP, and oh, it's a little unfortunate, but it's still going to guarantee them the point this time around.
I mean, as you say that, Lucio comes back with friends, but I don't think that he's... Oh, wow.
Oh, no, Angel, hello?
They invested the SD. I don't know. How do you feel about that beat?
I feel like I don't like that, Derry. That's the
Mood.
Oh, okay. Well, they're making some. Well, no. Sile, I understand committing the EMP, especially if they were gonna swap. That's fine. But Enduro wasn't gonna swap. Really didn't need to commit that bomb. They aren't gonna have it now. They pretty much have nothing. I mean, look at that ult charge. It's pretty barren besides, with the exception of McG. But on the other side, NYYRIKKI have so much to work with.
Yeah, they kept throwing themselves onto point to get a little bit of extra ult charge, and that could have worked well for both sides. But unfortunately, we had that self-destruct get thrown for no real purpose. Now we've got the rally as well as the self-destruct coming through. Oh, beautiful shield bash there from the Brigitte, managing to take down Raptor. The rest of the team does, however, manage to go and hide and spawn while NYYRIKKI just chills outside. Hey.
Yes. Speaking of purpose, really good bomb there, meant to take out Raptor. Timed the shield bash really well and everything. So now it looks like the spawn camp isn't actually going to work because New Moon get out of the spawn anyway.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of spawn camps. You really got to have something huge in order to do that. You got to have like an Earth Shatter or a Gravity Surge. They have neither, but they're quickly building up to both. And as I say that, the Earth Shatter will come online. New Moon are looking a little bit trepidant or hesitant here. They're pushing forward a little bit, but they're still not too sure what they're doing. Waiting for a little bit of a regroup. Oh, they waited too long. Here comes the Graviton Surge. But they do have that Transcendence, which is pretty huge. They do manage to survive. That is already 2 ultimates taken down for both teams. Now we're waiting to see what's going to happen next. There's just a lot of poke damage left. Their shield's nearly gone. Oh, big shield from Raptor there. No Earth Shatter for you. Here's the self-destruct. Gets nothing. Big bubbles from Skipper. I mean, we're not surprised. Skipper's been doing so much work. And here's the counter Earth Shatter. Huge. Big cleanup here from New Moon. And they're just going to continue on their merry way on the payload.
This is great because NYYRIKKI ended up committing a lot of key ults to that fight and didn't end up managing to hold anyway. So now New Moon are moving the cart around closer to second. They have the sound barrier, but that's actually going to be it. So they're going to work. They need to work really hard to get their ultimates up in this next fight. In general, I want to see them get a little more aggressive. They spend a lot of time just, you know, kind of, oh, it doesn't even matter. Nice, they get points too. Good boop.
Such a huge boop onto that Reinhardt, and they still managed to keep getting picks after that. So they boop the Reinhardt to stop him contesting the last point, and then they just carry on pummeling damage into the rest of the team. The Reinhardt goes down, followed swiftly by literally everyone else. And once again, this payload is going to keep on going.
And it's great because now New Moon, who were kind of lacking in ult charge because of that last fight, managed to build up so much of it. So now, Sile, any second now, who's also padded with quite a bit of armor, I might add, has the grab. Roki is down too.
Oh, but here comes the self-destruct. Will it get any value? It gets absolutely nothing value, but down the Zenyatta. Yet another self-destruct. Take down one of the supports, and the Brigida has also gone down. The Earth Shatter comes through, does manage to get some value. Oh, New Moon, you beasts, you managed to push it all the way, and New Moons are your winners. Well played.
Yeah, this is the aggression I wanted to see for them. I guess they needed some ults in the bank before they could confidently push. On top of that, I think Lepidef, unfortunately, couldn't get the shatter off. That could have been really fight turning, but I mean, he did press Q, so I'll give him that.
He did something. Bob, is that you? Oh, the solo Earth Shatter. So well in the end. Well played to both teams here. The score line, as you will now know, 3-1 to New Moon. They are your winners for this game. I'm really impressed with what I saw today. I'll be honest, I thought that NYYRIKKI was going to take this game. If we had done predictions earlier, I would have said NYYRIKKI would have taken it, but we were proven wrong. New Moon have played exceptionally well today. Quite impressed with what they did on that first map. They were looking a little bit uncertain about what they were doing with their ultimates and their ult economy and how they were playing, but they managed to bring it back and bring it up to a 3-1 victory.
Yeah, that's right. And I actually kind of think I did predict early on that NYYRIKKI was going to win, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete that part of the VOD. So, yeah, that'll be...
That never happened.
Yeah, that'll be that. But real quick, to break it down for us, we're going to bring our man on the scene, Suds and Bubbles.
Hey, what's up, guys? That was a great game. I really enjoyed watching that, and so... I got just a couple of notes that we saw throughout this. We're just going to start at the top. On Nepal, it became very apparent super early. Yikid's building barrages like crazy on Pharah, and he continued to do that every time they put him on that hero throughout this match. So that was a real highlight for me from the side of New Moon. Also for them, when we went to Route 66, you guys talked about it, we saw them bring out the quad DPS there on their attack. And the reason I think that worked so well is that it forced NYYRIKKI to get off of their GOATS composition to swap and counter that. They moved on to kind of a dive with a Widow. And once they made that swap, it allowed New Moon to swap to GOATS and just be able to roll over that composition. So just really kind of smart play there, being able to expect the swaps that your composition causes and counter those. But then moving on to Volskaya. You guys talked a bit about, we saw NYYRIKKI kind of attack with that Winston Goats composition, and they weren't having a lot of success there on first point. And something that I saw as one of the issues there for them was Lepidef kept wanting to, it looked like it was diving onto the Mercy instead of one of these less mobile snipers like Hanzo or Widow, and that Mercy just completely able to Guardian Angel away every single time. Like, that's a short cooldown, but and again, we saw New Moon take that map, and then Numbani, what a hype last map. I mean, lots of fun there, huge plays from both sides, but as you guys were continuing to point out, kind of poor ult management on both sides there, throwing ults into fights that they didn't need to be in, as well as just kind of feeding yourself into these fights that maybe didn't even need to be taken and giving a lot of ult charge to the other team. But I thought that was a lot of fun. I mean, great game from these two teams. I couldn't have asked for anything better, unless maybe a map 5, but I'm pretty happy with what we got.
Thank you so much, Suds. He's been our man on the scene. Call-in analyst. It's a new thing we're trying. Let us know what you think. I think that'll wrap us up, though, for this first game of the day. Don't go away, though, because we have another matchup for you coming very soon. It will be Gibby from iCarly versus Team Zephyr. Thank you so much to everybody that was involved with me today. Thank you to Beatdown for being my co-caster. We had a little bit of technical difficulties at the beginning of the run here, some other difficulties, but we rallied together and we managed to pull through. Thank you, of course, to Cap for being our producer, and we'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Don't go away.